Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest GoSkills Excel Challenge solution. How close did you get to solving it? Well, we've got Microsoft trainer Deborah Ashby ready to share her solution. Check it out right now.
In this challenge, I asked you to calculate repayments on a loan. So let's take a look at how I solved this challenge. So part one of this exercise was to calculate what the monthly payments would be on a loan of $400,000 with the following conditions. Now, anytime you want to calculate repayments, we use a function in Excel called PMT. So I'm going to go down to cell C12. We're going to type in equals PMT. And you can see that we have 5 arguments there, with the last 2 being optional. Now, something I highlighted was that all of these calculations must be monthly. So if we take a look at our first argument, the rate, we can see that the interest rate in the table is 4.25%. So we're going to select cell C8, but notice that this is the rate per annum per year. So because we want to end up with a monthly payment calculation, we need to divide the interest rate by the 12 months of the year. That's going to give us the monthly interest rate, comma. The next argument is NPER. Now this stands for number of periods. So again, this is the term that we're paying the loan over. And in this case, that is 30 years. Now again, because I have this written out in years in the table and we're working out monthly payments, we need to multiply this by 12 so that we're using the number of months in the calculation, comma. PV is our next argument, and PV stands for present value. So that is basically just the loan amount, cell C7, comma. Now, the next argument, FV, stands for future value. And you can see that this is an optional argument because it's in those square brackets. And I asked you to skip over this because we're not providing a future value. We're not making a balloon payment at the end to clear the loan. We're going to work this loan down to 0. So we can skip over this argument and move on to the final argument, which is type. So this is where we stipulate if we're going to be paying at the end of the period, and in this case a period is a month, or at the beginning of the month. Now we're paying at the end, so we're going to have a 0 in here. Let's close the bracket. That is our PMT calculation. Now when we hit enter, we're going to get an amount of $1,967.76. So that is our monthly payment. Now I mentioned to you that by default this amount is going to show as a negative value, which it is. It's showing in red and in brackets. And I asked you to basically convert this into a positive value. So if we double click to edit the formula, you could have done this in a couple of ways. You could have put a minus symbol before where we have PMT, that would have worked. Or you could put a minus symbol in front of the loan amount. So that is cell C7, it's this argument just here. If we put in a minus just there and hit enter, it's going to give us the same value, but it's going to turn it into a positive value. So this is the answer that you should have gotten. So that was part 1 of this exercise. The second part was to recalculate the monthly payments using what-if analysis tools to see how much more we could borrow if we were paying $2,500 a month. So this is our budget for the month, and we want to see how much more we could borrow from the bank if that's the amount that we're paying. So you can see $2,500 is quite a bit more than the current monthly payment. Now, the way to do this is to go up to the Data tab, go across to What If Analysis, and from here we can use the Goal Seek utility. So we're going to delete out what we have in here, and we're going to say set this cell, C12, to the value 2,500. Now you have to type this value in, you can't actually select the cell. And which cell do we want to change? Well, we want to see how much more we can borrow. So this is going to be the changing cell. Let's click on OK. Everything's going to recalculate, and we can now see that if we have a monthly payment of $2,500, we can borrow $508,192. And that's how I chose to solve this challenge. Tell us what you think about our solution to this challenge by commenting below or joining the conversation on our Slack channel. That's it for now. I will see you next time.
So there it is. Did you get the same results? Did you use the same approach? Or did you try something different? We'd like to know. Share your take on the challenge in the comments below or join us for more discussion in our Slack channel. Link in the description. Thanks for participating, and make sure to subscribe to this channel to get an alert when the next challenge is released. We'll see you then.